Knowing yourself as God or consciousness is the same as whether you believe in oxygen in order to breathe. It's already there. You don't believe that you have, for example, a nose for smelling or your senses. They're there. You as awareness is present. You can't argue with that. Knowing that you are the greater intelligence, that you are an aspect of all that is, you can never be apart from that. But what you can do is shift your mental focus away from that knowing. The very thing that enables thoughts, emotional responses, and sensory perceptions is the space of pure presence. It's the observing agent that allows everything to exist, to be. Without it, nothing can be experienced or understood. It wouldn't be a part of reality as we know it. So you can say that awareness is the missing link that everybody seems to not fully grasp or understand as the hard problem. It is the very thing that allows everything to exist. We are definitely overlooking that which is doing the looking. This is the most obvious, but most paradoxical, because it's the very thing that we take for granted. If I were to tell you about the room that you're in, we would automatically define it based on the objects that are in it. The floor, the books on the shelf, the walls. But we're not fully understanding that the space that is there to have all of these things in the room to be even possible is that which makes the room a room in the first place. And it's the same thing that happens in the interiority of our being. We're aware of our thoughts, feelings, sense perceptions, but we're not aware of awareness itself, which is the backdrop that allows everything to exist. This intangible space is the essence of everything that we perceive in the screen of our awareness. But we always miss it. We always overlook it. But it's what enables everything to be. The space of aware presence is everywhere, both inside and outside of you. But it's not a localized object in space-time. It is formless. It cannot be perceived through the mind and senses. It is the hidden spiritual dimension within you that makes all observation even possible. It is the all-seeing, eternal I. The I Am. The very foundation that holds everything together to give us this experience we call life. You are because you are conscious. That's the cornerstone in which all reality is derived from. Everything, people, places, circumstances, the whole cosmos is within awareness. Now you have to turn your attention back to awareness so that you are aware of awareness, and in that will give you great liberation. The space of neutrality where you will not be affected by things that your mind has piled upon through conditionings and impressions that it's picked up. The body-mind is an instrument for tasting experiences, diversity, otherness, the sense of limitation. But what happens is you've put so much focus on your own creation of the body that you started to believe and mistake yourself to be that. And somehow that weakened your vital force, and it's become, shall we say, restricted awareness, became limited to only that which you perceive to be your own separate private world. The person is a separate doer of actions, the thinker of thoughts, This is only an idea that you hold about yourself in your head. This is the self-portrait that you've created that allows you to have the experience of being trapped in your own projections, your self-limiting beliefs, and your conditionings. This is the memory, the context of who you are by identifying as the mortal you believed yourself to be. And this is what creates so much fear. The belief in scarcity, or lack, always being in constant survival mode, the feeling of vulnerability or disconnection from other people, from nature, from life itself. It brings tremendous amount of insecurity, distrust, and powerlessness in identifying with the limitations of the personal self. When you put energy and attention in defending, protecting, and investing in it, you will always be a work in progress, always trying to move towards wholeness, towards the divine, but never seeming to reach. And the only reason why you can never reach there is because the personhood has to be transcended. You have to let go of your identification, your attachment to it. You have to stop losing a sense of yourself, losing presence in it. So recognize the subtle aspect of reality that is doing the perceiving of that which you believe yourself to be as the body-mind. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, the me and my story. Once you observe that there is a subtle observing that's taking place, that's witnessing all of these things, that is not affected by what happened through your memories, that is not caught up within the troubles of the thinking mind, conflicts and tensions. Let that be clear, let that be known. You cannot be other than what you are. The metal chair is not made out of metal. It is the metal. The ocean is not made out of water. It is the water. You are not made out of God. You are God. The reality of who you are fundamentally is consciousness. This is the empirical truth of yourself that's imperishable, that's unchanging. When you put your focus back in that direction, this is what it means by returning back to the source. It is not that you as a separate being is moving to the source. You're just simply going within, past the mind. You're transcending the web of the mind. And you're opening yourself to the utter freedom of who you are that's behind and beyond it all. Allow your mind to sit comfortably in the silent, vast space of your heart. Not your human heart, but your cosmic heart. The container of consciousness which contains everything that you see within the space-time universe. So the real term, when it talks about thinking or being outside of the box representing the mind. Everything that is outside of the box is who you are. You're not limited to the personal self, the me and my story. You are not caught up in the web of all the impressions that you've picked up. And so now you no longer can be a spider that's trapped in your own web. Now you recognize that you are unconditioned presence. You don't have a life, you are life, the very sentience itself. And a tremendous sense of liberation happens when you turn your focus away from the mind and senses back into that which is beyond the mind and senses, beyond space-time, beyond causality, cause and effect. And by recognizing and embracing it, effortless peace, that space of detachment, unconditionality, stillness, silence will be yours. That eternal presence has always been who and what you are.